why runners or avoidants or fearful avoidants suffer so much, but yet they have difficulty understanding themselves, and so do others. They have two conflicting wants. And the one says, I want connection, I want relationship, and the other one says, love coming in will hurt. So having these two conflicting stories, which are both true and have been true, actually makes a runner or a dismissive or a fearful avoidant put up walls. The thing is, if we're trying to protect ourselves from pain, we need to also protect ourselves from love. The only way to shift this dynamic around would be to actually understand that pain can actually be the cause of suffering if we numb to it or we cut it out of our lives, cutting out people or numbing out to people. Or it could be an opportunity to guide us out of the loop of suffering, the runner and chaser loop, the anxious and avoidant dynamic. So by pushing pain away, numbing to it, we need to push other people away, we need to numb to other people and become avoidant. By calling pain in, which means microdosing, titrating pain in, to actually heal through it so that we can become the available person, the adult for our inner child, the safe adult for our inner child. Once we know how to do this, we can allow love in, other people in, and recover and heal the avoidant wound. Now, if you are a fearful avoidant watching this, if you are an anxious attached watching this, or a dismissive avoidant, runner and chaser, push and pull, I don't know how you label yourself, it doesn't really matter. If this content resonates for you, I want you, instead of picturing somebody else only, but first to do one thing. I would like you to picture yourself in whatever it is that I'm sharing with you. I know that we tend to actually see other people, but please remember, the most important thing is that we first see ourselves within any dynamic. And I want to let you know on the secret, whether you're anxious or avoidant, runner or chaser, we all have everything within ourselves. So what the anxious have on a conscious level, right? So they are anxious on a conscious level, but subconsciously they are avoidants. And avoidants are avoidant on a conscious level, but subconsciously they are anxious. Basically, what we need to do as runners or avoidants, fearful or dismissive, what we need to do to heal through this dynamic is actually emotionally simulate within our own emotional world the experience of actually having pain here, right? Allowing to feel it. It could be disappointment, it could be fear of rejection or fear of shame, being shamed, right? And then having that adult self within us, supporting us here, being present with ourselves, with our inner child here. So that both are true at the same time. So that we have that experience that I can be in pain and in suffering, and I could also be present within my own being in this moment instead of checking out, numbing out, because only in that moment do I make relationship possible. The relationship I want to make possible from outside of me needs to have the foundations first and foremost within. So any runner, any avoidant needs to go through this healing journey where they actually have the experience again and again, where pain can be possible, but also presence can be possible within themselves. This way they become more connected when they have pain instead of shutting down or putting up walls. And that's how we create empathic relating within and without. This is how we become more and more available, present, less avoidant, less dismissive, and less, I don't know how to call it, defensive. There we go. So in order to heal this wound of unworthiness, we would need to microdose the worst case scenario where, what was the worst case scenario for all runners and avoidants? To be in pain and to be neglected in pain. That's what made us avoidant to begin with. So in order to reverse this, we need to let pain in and start being present, again and again and again and again. Now, if what I'm saying with you resonates with you, I have a course that I've prepared for all attachment styles. Insecure, right? Runner and chaser, anxious, fearful avoidant, and dismissive avoidant. And what is most important and why I've put them all in one course is this, that we all have all the dynamics inside of us, whether it's conscious or subconscious, whether it is projected, right? Or we have suppressed. So why I have created a course for all of them, where what do? I guide each insecure attachment style, whether they identify as fearful avoidant, anxious, or dismissive, runner or chaser. In order to be able to reverse engineer, to heal this wound, what we need to do is relive the worst case scenario, the one that has actually been experienced in the past with our caregivers or, relationships that we had. And maybe we don't remember it, maybe it's so suppressed. However, there is a way to actually trigger the worst case scenario so that it can come up when we have felt pain and suffering, but we're also neglected. And actually, through this process, become that adult, become that parent for our inner child, for ourselves in the past. So that we can again and again meet ourselves where we have been neglected, shamed, and left hurting. Because all this hurt is actually suppressed in our subconscious. And the moment we're able to meet ourselves there again and again and again and again, we actually are healing our inner child. We're actually becoming that adult through this process of going and meeting that part of ourselves that is in pain, so it's not neglected anymore. And we need to do that again and again and again until we actually experience inner and outer shifts. And this is so possible. I've done it from my avoidance side because I'm fearful avoidant, so I'm runner and chaser. So whether you are on a twin flame journey, whether you're experiencing a karmic or, a toxic relationship, you call it limerence. Maybe you don't even know what it is, right? We don't have to really put a title. Anything that is toxic or not working or unavailable is actually the dynamic that we're replaying with another person because we have it within our own being. We have it with ourselves. So that's why labels don't matter, because we're trying to heal through the dynamic no matter what the specific person is, we think he is or she is or they are. So in my course that I have prepared for you is actually to heal the dynamic of self-neglect and self-punishment and betrayal, and to actually become the love we're looking for. And it's basically for all attachment styles. Actually, there are 3. So there's anxious, dismissive, and fearful avoidant that has a double wound. So it's basically the person that's chasing love and running away from love. And because we all do it on a conscious or subconscious level, whether we define ourselves as avoidance, consciously we are avoiding and running away from love, but subconsciously we are actually defending ourselves. That didn't make a lot of sense. Basically, what we're doing is we are wanting to balance this dynamic so that we don't have to play it out again and again with other people, causing us and them suffering. I've created a course. If what I'm saying with you resonates with you, please let me know that you want the course by saying, I want it, I'm ready for it. Comment below, I want it, I'm ready for it, and I will send you the link for this course so you can heal the unavailability within yourselves. You can heal painful love within yourselves and without.